March 1 of 1945. Arrived in Oahu, Hawaii. Gas masks were issued, and I learned how to use it in the event of either tear gas or mustard gas attacks. I was happy to discover that the Japs were not involved in gas warfare. In fact, we found the containers quite useful for storing candy bars, flashlights, batteries, and so forth. Jungle training and more communication practice and no passes kept me busy until the 28th, when it was time to pack up and leave again. April 10, 1945, arrived in Saipan in the Mariana Islands. Our troops had repossessed Saipan only a couple of months previous, and I had my first look at a war zone, even though the fighting was over. There were still live bombs and booby traps around. We had to be on the lookout constantly. More training, lots of lectures, learned about grenades and flamethrowers, and a lot of other stuff. On the 23rd, I boarded ship again. May 2, 1945, my 19th birthday, arrived off Okinawa in the Ryukyu Islands, about a half-mile offshore. We clambered down cargo nets into the LCVP, which is a landing craft for hauling personnel around. Bouncing up and down with the waves, full pack on our backs. This was a real adventure. A lot of guys fell the last few feet, but no one was lost overboard. Now we circled like on parade, about 40 boats with 24 GIs on each, waiting for orders to hit the beach. After about a half hour, we headed into the beach. It had already been secured prior to our arrival, so the landing was uneventful. I could hear bombs a ways off, and our Navy guns were booming behind us, and American planes were flying overhead. Hard to believe how all this effort could be so well coordinated. Began to realize that all the preparation I had was about to pay off. On the beach we were separated into companies and taken to a bivouac area. First thing, throw out your gas masks. A huge pile already on the ground, I added mine, along with the stuff I had in it. We were told there was no imminent danger of being gassed, that they would just be in the way. What a waste. It appeared we had a little free time, so another GI and I decided to go exploring. We knew we wouldn't get permission, so we didn't ask. So many troops were being unloaded and coming into the area, no one would miss us in any way. So off we went. Where to we didn't know. With no compass or map, possibility of Jap soldiers hiding out, we should have known better. But we didn't think about that at this time. We walked a couple miles or so, came to a sandy area where I saw part of a rifle sticking out of the ground. I went right up and pulled it out, never thinking it might be a booby trap, but it wasn't. And that's the rifle, flag, watch, and a jet medal that I sent home later. Decided we better cut back when I noticed a cave opening with a cloth or blanket covering the opening. Someone had to be in there and probably was watching us. I motioned my buddy to go around behind and jerk the covering away while I covered the entrance with my grease gun, an M45. Who should be inside but an aged Okinawa native woman. Now what to do? We fashioned a homemade stretcher, motioned her to sit on it, and off we went. two dumb GIs with a humanitarian duty to perform. We came upon another American unit, told him our story, got royally chewed out for leaving our area and messing around where we didn't belong. But they took the lady off our hands and we highlighted it back. Upon our return, we discovered everyone we knew was gone. Another group was there, so we were placed with that group. I am now informed that I am part of the 96th Infantry Division, 381st Regiment, 3rd Battalion, 101st Headquarters, Company A and P Platoon, with a Sergeant Rimlinger as my squad leader. I will be with this outfit from now on. Action against the enemy consisted mostly of bringing supplies, water, and ammunition to the front lines. I recall riding in a Jeep in the dark with blackout lights on, about 100 yards from the front, then carrying a jerry can of water on one shoulder, a box of ammo on the other, and struggling up a hill, making several trips throughout the night. Lots of shooting, bombs going off all over, but no enemy in sight. About 500 yards to the rear was our bivouac area. I slept on empty ammo boxes to get a few inches off the ground. This was in a hilly area with several tombs built into the hill. My buddy and I thought these would be nice and dry, but we pulled the stone away and crawled inside. Upon seeing scorpions crawling about and not seeming to be at all friendly, we decided those hard metal boxes looked a lot better. So we got out of there in a hurry. I found some beautiful, delicate, native china. Would have tried to send it home, but doubted it if any of it would arrive in one piece without falling apart. So I forgot about that. The second day in the war zone, a bomb fell in the Jeep, killing the driver and wrecking the vehicle and its contents. This brought the war to me on a more personal level, and I really felt the urge to shoot to kill when and if I got the opportunity. Conoco Hill overlooked the harbor in the city of Yanabaru, which the Japs held. We were constantly harassed with gun and mortar fire in an attempt to get over the top. The engineers tried tunneling through and got about 100 feet, but it took too much time. It did make an excellent bomb shelter when our boys were told to get over the top. No matter the cost, it provided the medics a good place to work on the wounded. Hauling water and ammo over this hill with incoming fire was quite an experience. We laid down a smoke screen, but that didn't seem to stop the mortar fire. It was here that our general was killed. I received a Bronze Star for participating in this action. Another day, back in the bivouac area, I was cleaning my carbine when bang, I'd removed the clip, but a shell remained in the chamber. The bullet went through a full jerry can of water, but no other harm was done. The CO came running over, saw what had happened, chewed me out, and that ended that incident. Pulling guard duty in the war zone is the pits. We had tarpaulins covering our ammo pile, and they would flap in the wind. Pitch dark, on edge, feeling jittery. Every little movement seemed like someone was moving around. So a lot of shots were fired throughout each night. If any Jap patrols were near, it sure gave away our position. Mornings were usually quite cool. We had secured some enemy supplies, including a fuel dump. So one morning we took the top off a 55-gallon drum of gasoline and set it on fire. Wow, we sure got a lot of heat in a hurry, including some from the CO when he discovered what we had done. Being lectured about safety, I recollect another incident. Each morning we had to check our perimeter for infiltrators. This particular day I spotted a Jap soldier with not much more than a G-string on. "Kill the SOB," yelled our NCO. This was the first time I had eye contact with the enemy, and I was pretty nervous as I fired my carbine. Then I touched the clip release instead of the trigger, and it fell to the ground. As I attempted to pick it up, another GI fell to the ground. As I stopped to pick it up, another GI fell to the ground. It was then I noticed he was unarmed. I guess that was providential because he would have surely killed me. 70-day wonders, we called these officers who had been given field promotions and not going to officer candidate school. One assigned as my unit didn't last long. Coming on a supposedly dead Jap, he suddenly jumped up and threw 2 grenades at us. My buddy and I threw ourselves to one side while the new officer stopped in his tracks. The grenades rolled up against him and exploded. I felt sick and bad, especially since we hadn't shown much respect for him. The Jap soldier paid with his life, but it took a while for me to get over it. Saddest of all experiences was meeting dead civilians, especially women and children. Lying on the ground where they fell, left there to die.
I didn't know that would get to me.
I'll be all right.
take a minute if you want to turn mine off, so if you want to take a breather, get some water.
Yeah, I think I better get a drink.
Can help up or anything, or you got